Hi, Cuthla here. And as you know, if you've been watching my videos, I've been going off on a little tangent of making video responses and stuff like that. And you know, like anything, you gotta take a break from it and whatnot. So I'm busy right now doing some of my other stuff. Like getting back to some other things. And one of them, of course, is my movie reviews. And so, which, as you know, after I do a movie review, probably doing a game review immediately afterwards. So if you stick around, you'll probably see that one pop up too. And this time, I'm going to be reviewing this one film. It was made back in like '93, got released onto DVD. It's credited at 1995, so it's been around for a while. But um, it's one that really surprised me when it came out. I really liked it. It surprised me. Um, this one. American Yakuza, which is, just for some of the basic details about it, um, stars Viggo Mortensen, Roy Ishibashi, Michael Nuri, Franklin and Jay, and Robert Forster. It was directed by, directed by Frank Capello. Now, one of the things that really surprised me about this film is, first off, I ended up coming back to it after I saw Lord of the Rings, because Vigo, I didn't realize this that in American Yakuza, that was the first time I'd ever seen him in a film. So of course, after I got done watching all the Lord of the Rings films, I had this weird nagging little feeling of, where have I seen this guy before? And I had to come back to American Yakuza to figure out that it's like, well, that's where I first saw him. You know, which, like I said, for the film, I mean, I always liked it and stuff, because the simple premise behind it is that Vigo's character, guy by name, in the movie, his name is Nick Brandt, but he has a double role because his character is an FBI agent who, as part of his cover, spends a year in solitary confinement in prison under the name David Brandt. So he can infiltrate the Yakuza to help build a case against him for the FBI. And the whole course of the film, like I said, is basically just with Nick being undercover in it and doing everything he can as per his assignment to get himself immersed into the Yakuza and Japanese culture as best he can. So, and it really surprised me that for a film that is pretty much just the whole, agent undercover thing, it really surprised me just the level of acting that came out of this film. The people that they got to act in it did a way better job than I ever would have thought, because if you go looking for this film, you actually find it in the action adventure section. And don't get me wrong, it's got action adventure scenes in there, but the film really stands on the acting and the music and how the photography for the film is done. It goes out of its way to showcase the acting of a lot of the people that are in it. The action in it is, I don't know, I think I can remember like maybe 3 or 4 scenes, including the final part at the end, which they had like a lot of action in it. But I mean, not enough to where you could actually qualify this as a true action film. This is more a film that is definitely character and acting driven, you know? And as you go through it, watching Nick, as he gets further and further in there and then has to keep reporting back to the FBI, you can see, Vigo does a really good job of showing how the character is getting, you know, his loyalties, as he's doing this, is like he's starting to question if what he's doing is right. And Vigo does a great job of showcasing that. And it also does a really good job of showcasing, like, guy in there, Franklin J, who turns out he's actually a comedian. He plays another FBI agent named Sam, who is trying to keep him grounded in the world of the FBI. Just to let him know that that no, you're an FBI agent. Don't start liking these people. And then Robert Forster, who is like one of the FBI higher ups, named Littman, where he comes in as this very cold, expecting results type individual. And I mean, granted, his role is small, but he does actually put that nice little point on there of like there is things to be expected from the FBI, and he adds a very kind of darker, sinister look at the FBI, a la X-Files, minus all the alien stuff. Just the whole thing there to where he's just like, this is what I expect you to do, this is what you're there for, and I expect to be done, and then as soon as this is done, you're off to the next case. You know, Not even taking into any regard that the Nick Brandt character is having these, the David Brandt, Nick Davis character is starting to basically have a question of where his loyalties lie. He doesn't care about that. He just expects it to be business as usual. So, and another thing I have to point out on this with all the action that they supposedly say that's in there, although, like I said, there's only maybe 3 or 4 good scenes of action in there, and how it really strongly relies upon the acting of the people in it. It also, you have to give a little bit of credit to the guy who did the music, a guy by the name of David C. Williams. The music he chose for this is very, very somber. Um, for the action scenes, it's action music, but for other scenes, like there's really, really good scenes in there that um, show a lot of reverence and ritual, and the music he chose for them is very, very good to showcase those particular scenes. And overall, he did a very beautiful job with the music he chose and its placement. So, and also, you also got to give credits to one of the writers for the film, a Takashi Ikaishi, I believe is how it's pronounced. He was one of the writers, also one of the producers, and the film was actually based off of a story that he initially wrote, and then he went on and became the writer for this film. Um, so him being there actually helped keep the story definitely more focused on what it should be, because if it hadn't, it could have very well turned into the whole action adventure thriller that was being talked about on the case. You know, but overall, though, I mean, at 95 minutes, it's not a long film, so it does actually cram a lot into it. Um, it was a really enjoyable film, and if I had to recommend this for anything, if you do like good acting done in films, I would definitely suggest pick up American Yakuza. You'll be really surprised, because it has a lot of things that it brings to the table. The strongest being its action, its acting, and its music, and its action and adventure and things like that. They're nice little things to throw in there, to help kind of liven the mood to it and stuff. And the little comedy bits they do bring in there help out a lot too. Just, stuff that helps lighten it up a little bit. Because otherwise, it's a pretty serious and very, very somber film. But it is definitely, in my opinion, I think, worth picking up. And I really don't think you'll be disappointed if you do. Especially because, like I said, this is one of Viggo Mortensen's early films. Like I said, I didn't, um, when The Lord of the Rings came out, like I said, for the longest time, I was sitting there wondering, who the hell is this guy? And that's because American Yakuza was the first film that I ever seen him in. And it's definitely worth your time to sit there and watch it just to see that, no, Viggo's always been a good actor. So, anyway, thanks for your time. This is Cuthla, and I'll see you guys later.